Welcome to Khalifa Sports City in the Kingdom of Bahrain.
That distance.
You know, he studies boxers. Those are the heroes that he loves to, when he gets in trouble, he taps him out. He's the cool guy out of the
Hi, my name is Gurdarshan Mangat, professional mixed martial artist representing India, Canada, and Indians all over the world. When I'm in the back, it's a very uneasy feeling. There's nothing else that I really go through, that I've gone through, that I can really describe it. People always say, "Are you excited?" I would say excited is probably one of the last things I am in that moment. At that moment, your butterflies are going, your mind is playing every possible situation, you feel numb, your body feels numb, your mind, you're just trying to breathe through every bit of tenseness that's going in your body. You knew that this moment was coming. You knew that the moment was building up. You knew that eventually this day was gonna come. But you've imagined it so many times, so when it's finally on that final chapter of it becoming a reality, everything starts setting in. The warm-up is going, the way that you feel. So in my head, I'm just trying to process the whole thing. I'm just trying to remember why I'm doing this, because you question a lot of things in this moment. For me, I was an accountant. I'm like, why didn't I stay in accounting? I should have just stayed in accounting. Why am I doing this? Why am I putting myself through this? Why me? Why couldn't there be somebody else that'd be doing this and I can be cheering them on? But then I realized nobody can do it better than me. I chose to go down this path. I chose to so I started to build an energy inside of me. I try to visualize hunting. I try to visualize becoming a lion, because deep inside, that is what my nickname is. That is who we truly are. And that's when you kind of start shutting off your emotional response to things and you start becoming almost primal. You start becoming primal, where you start having killer instincts. You start going a little bit crazy in your head. I start telling myself things like, today your only way out is if you die in that cage. I really, truly believe that when I go into the cage, that I won't come out of there unless I'm dead or I win. So those are my only two options. And I don't give myself anything past that. I don't even look the day past my fight. In that moment, that is my judgment day that day. The fight is my judgment day. So in the back, these are all the things I'm thinking about. Because you almost kind of have to become cold-blooded in that moment. You can't have really warm, fuzzy feelings in that sense. The air always feels colder on that day. The stuff beneath your feet feels a bit more, you feel more things. It's a very weird feeling. You feel things that you didn't think you would feel. You're trying to understand your body. You're trying to see if it's heating up. You're trying to see if you're warming up proper, if it's stiffening up. You're trying to loosen up parts of your body where you think that they might be tightening up. But these are just things, they're just cycling. It's just non-stop cycle. Sometimes it'll be 20 seconds that the butterflies don't hit you. Then it'll be 30 seconds, then it'll be 5 seconds. You're just trying to breathe through it. You're just trying to take deep breaths, trying to get yourself ready for it. And what you see is all around you is other warriors getting ready also. You know your opponent is literally 20 feet away doing the exact same thing. He's coming to kill you. He's coming to take you out. He's not gonna fall down easy either. These are things that we are born with, two instincts, fight or flight. A lot of people will run. They will run away from this situation. They will run away from such things. Or the other side is to fight. And you really have no choice at that point. You can't run from this. You're gonna fight. So you start accepting it. You start believing it. You start knowing that the moment's coming closer. As fights are ending, you know you're one fight closer now. You know that your body better start warming up. You're hearing the fans out there. You can hear the cheers through the walls, and you know it's coming closer. They're responding to something violent is happening out there. Some guy's being hurt and another guy is hurting. So they're cheering for something out there. They want their entertainment, and you are gonna have to provide it for them also. If you wanna make history, you gotta jump in the fire, you gotta jump in the hell. And if you wanna become something historic, you gotta do things that most people are too scared to do. These are the things that are just playing in my head the entire time when I'm going back and forth there. I try to loosen up, I try to accept it, I try to just take it all in. But there's just cycles and cycles of mental warfare with yourself. It's honestly me versus me at the end of the day. It's my angel and my devil on my shoulder that I'm fighting, that's saying I can, and one side is saying you can, and the other saying you can't, and it's just a constant motion. It's a normal human feeling, but in that sense you got to drop the human feeling and bring out the primal feeling in that moment. As soon as I know that it's time to go, it's just time to go. There's no turning back, there's no running away, there's no pushing it another hour further, there's no pushing it saying listen, I'll do this later. You go then, and that's it. You either accept that moment and you make it what you can, or you run afraid from it and fall weak in front of everybody out there. Before I gotta walk out, this is it now. I'm waiting. I can hear my opponent's music going off in the cage right now. He's already walking in there. I can hear his fans, and now I know this is it. This is me next. So I start breathing very heavy. I start letting out roars almost. I start roaring loud, where I think I even scare my coaches sometimes, where I roar, because in that second, this is it. Like, you're going to war. This is your battle. And then I know when my music hits exactly what beat I'm gonna walk out at, exactly what beat the fans are gonna feel. And when I walk, they know that I've arrived. So I wait for it. I wait for that moment. I just take deep breaths. I put myself in that moment. I talk to my ancestors. That's a big part of it. I talk to my ancestors. I say, give me strength. I say, I'm going into battle. Thank you for leading me down this path. It's a scary path, but thank you for giving me something meaningful to fight for, to represent. Let me give them something. So as the music hits, I'm walking down. There's no turning back now. There's no turning back. You just embrace it. You take the energy in of the fans. You take in the energy of the boos and the cheers. You take it all in. And as soon as you meet that man at the cage who's gonna check you one last time, that's it. After that, the only person putting hands on you is a man that's your opponent, who's coming to kill you after that. There's nobody else that's going to be between you anymore. There's not going to be any coaches to help you. Everybody sits outside the cage. Now it's time for you to go to war. So I get to the gate, I kneel down, and this is where I do my final prayer. And this is where I speak. I speak to God in this moment. I truly do. I ask for strength as a lion. I talk to my ancestors. I speak to them. I ask them for strength in this moment. And that's it. As soon as I spring into that cage, Saint Lion is born in that moment. And that's when Gurdarshan Mangat takes a rest, and Saint Lion is in the cage now, and it's time to go to war.
From India, Gurdarshan Mangat!
Guess who's back?
When I'm in the fight now, everything becomes reaction. Everything becomes what I've trained. All my fibers, all my muscles have been trained for certain reactions to certain things. And now, if the training was done right, the training's gonna pay off. He'll throw punches, I will react to punches. I will throw punches at him, and he will react to them. And this is where the strategy comes into play. I will push forward, I will push them to their limits, I will mix them up, and I will break them down. They will come with their strategies, they always do, and they always come to push me to my limits. But the beauty of MMA is that when we're in there, we're fighting another man, but we're learning more about ourselves in that moment. It's truly a test of your own spirit. You have another opponent around you, but it really is you versus you. When you're in there, your mind is gonna start fatiguing. You're gonna start getting tired in there. But you gotta keep fighting back. You gotta understand, time feels so much slower when you're in the cage. All your punches feel so much slower. Everything feels stiff a little bit until you watch it later and you feel like, man, it was actually moving really quick. But in that moment, everything feels tentative. Everything seems like you're kind of stuck a little bit. But things are firing off the way they're supposed to be. And the strategy always is to be as relaxed as you can, but to keep your mind strong. Keep everything in check. Don't get over emotional. Being emotional in the cage will destroy you. Just like it would destroy you in life, it will destroy you in the cage. And I always try to keep that. I have no anger towards my opponents. I have no anger towards them in any way. They're nothing but an obstacle in my dream to get to the top. Once I overcome them, that's it. We can be friends after that. But during that battle, I am coming to destroy them. I will push forward. I will knock them out. I will hunt them in that cage. I'm a lion that comes to hunt. There's nothing that you can do to get away from me, from everything, from the ground techniques. Everything is covered in these things. This is where the training comes together. It all comes forward. The air in there always feels very cold. The cage always feels very cold. It seems like you're in kind of like a dark prison cell fighting somebody. When you're looking at it from the outside, the cage looks a lot bigger, but when you're in there, the world becomes a lot smaller. And it's a very honest world in there. There's no lying inside the cage, because if I hit you and you hit me, it's a very honest feeling of pain. And the pain hurts, but it's truth. It's truth that something is working and something is not. And that's the beauty of MMA. That's why I think people love it, because it's honest, hard work, honest, raw, tribal ways of fighting, and that's truly what we are at the end of the day. So in this, the strategy is to be a supreme warrior, is to fight through it, have your mind very strong at all times.
I'm already thinking of some awesome matches for him.
I know you are. You're salivating just thinking about it right now.
Gurdarshan!
A brave experience has been amazing. It gives us something motivating to fight under a promotion which is such high production, such loyal fans, such a loyal production team behind it, and it's backed by so many good people. And just to meet all the fans that I got to meet after, that was probably one of the most exhilarating feelings, to walk out of that cage and meet all the kids, the parents, the older generation. It's who I always try to represent. I don't say I'm trying to represent one thing, but all the Indian fans that came out that I had no idea about. It was amazing. It's because Brave gave me that opportunity to come here and be able to give them a show that allowed my work to show on a much higher platform. It was shown to millions of people. And it's nice to know that the amount of hours we put in, it goes far. It's being shown to the far corners of the world, and that makes you want to work harder. Just meeting all the fans and stuff, just hugging them and giving them that moment. Like, I know what it feels like when you want to get a picture with a celebrity or an athlete and like that. You wait for it, you try to get to them and stuff. And it was amazing to be that to these kids and to the parents, to even older generation. I wanted to take every part of the moment in. I wanted to give them that moment. I wanted to let them feel that. And that was something that Brave was able to give us by bringing the show here, by giving us that stage. And being an Indian fighter with so many Indians here, it was an amazing opportunity, and it's a huge thank you. It's a memory that I'll never forget. It's definitely one of my top 10 moments in my life, that meeting everybody here and embracing everybody, and the way they've embraced me as their own, and how they were proud of being Indian that day because of the way that I fought, because of what I represented, and to win and to carry the flag all across the cage, and them just hugging me and saying thank you for representing us. Not even saying thank you for fighting or good job. It was more so thank you for coming here and representing us. Thank you for flying the Indian flag high and representing all of us. And it was truly remarkable. It was crazy that I'm just a simple accountant at one point, and here we are 8 years later and got the world's pressure resting on my shoulders, and I give these people a moment, and that's just from good, clean, hard work that I put in every single day. I'm really no different, and it's amazing to just be around all these people.